land of daring and beauty comes the story of two people separated against their will.
Why? Came to see Jessica.
Jim.
You're out of your class here, Craig. You're not welcome here, Craig.
And of one man determined to claim the woman he loves. A man of great courage.
We're not going to mess up our lives doing what other people think is right.
Craig doesn't belong here, Jess. He could never belong here.
You've thought of me, your father, almost everyone else. What do you want?
In a time when romance led to rivalry.
Been away too long. Get off this property. No.
We're staying here.
A rivalry that will become a war.
It's time we paid him a visit.
Jessica! Jess, I'm not going to let you go like this.
If you hadn't tried to stop me going home, then none of us would have happened.
Jessica.
And now, their only hope rides with a mysterious wild stallion.
Go on! I need your help.
What is it?
Now do we start to fight them? Let's get out of here!
It's an adventure that will take your breath away. And a love story that will steal your heart. The Untamed.
Blake Edwards, creator of the Pink Panther, introduces another hero, a ghost.
You believe in ghosts?
George Carlin is a detective who discovers there's less of him than meets the eye.
That's me. I know me. That's me. And I'm dead.
Now he's got to find his killer with the help of a new partner who's still not used to the idea.
Who ever heard of going into business with a ghost?
Gives you a chance to start a new trend.
George Carlin appears and disappears in Blake Edwards' new comedy, Just in Case. You loved her in Splash. Now everyone's favorite mermaid is back as the hit movie continues.
Maybe we could be the all-American couple.
Alan and Madison aren't average newlyweds.
I know something weird is going on with you people.
She's right.
She's a lively mermaid who takes on a mad scientist in an outrageous comedy adventure.
May I offer you my arm?
I have my own, thank you.
She sends the neighbors into an uproar and turns the entire town upside down. The magic lives on in Splash 2.
Cindy Williams is an aspiring actress waiting for her big break.
We all love your teeth. Leave your resume.
She had everything under control until the day her best friend Petey got sick.
You bring me $500 in cash, and I'll take care of the rest.
Now she'll do anything to get the cash, even if it means turning the entire town upside down. In a crazy, mixed up, all-out run for the money.
Hello.
Cindy Williams and Tony Randall star in the chaotic comedy classic, Go for Broke.
Crockett. Colonel Crockett. Colonel Crockett. Colonel Crockett, sir. Colonel Crockett. Colonel Crockett, sir. Colonel Crockett, sir. Excuse me.
Yes? I'm here.
President Jackson's on his way down, sir. You might want to step inside. Them clouds are taking on some meanness.
They are, for a fact. You lead the way.
You all right, Colonel? Can I pour you a glass, sir?
No, I'm fine. Just a little snapback of fever. I carry it pretty much like luggage now everywhere I go.
President will be along any time, sir.
Fine. Thanks. Oh, these belong to President Jackson?
Yes, sir, they do.
He needs them for reading, does he?
I believe so, yes, sir. You ain't come to that yet, huh, Colonel?
No, not likely. Not Davy Crockett.
Well, was it my company or the promise of good bourbon? Which was it that brought you here?
Don't ask a question if you're not really willing to hear the answer, Mr. President.
To the Republic.
And dusty throats. How long is this going to take? I mean, there's fighting stories to tell and drinking stories and whatever comes after, and it all takes up a lot of time. If it's all the same to you, I just soon get right down to it.
Well, it seems like you're in a powerful squeeze for time, Davy.
After a certain age and a certain number of close calls, a powerful squeeze for time is pretty well what life gets to be.
There isn't an inn or a tavern I can't walk into and find a friend, Davy. I'm a well-liked man. I think I've earned that.
I agree.
Well, then can you tell me why, in the name of holy Hades, half of those jackanapes in the House of Representatives won't pay me any mind when I got a bill that needs passing?
So you're getting a bumpy ride down on the hill, and you want me to smooth it out for you?
Well, it did cross my mind. Now that you bring it up.
I believe you're the one that brought it up.
Well, so I did. But it doesn't make it a bad idea just because it's mine, you know. Those boys in Congress, they hang on your every word. You were one of them.
Until you worked to defeat me and did.
Davy. Davy, there can be policy differences between even the tightest of comrades, which we used to be, remember?
You used to.
Be a sin to throw all that away. How long have we known each other, Davy?
You've known me about 25, 26 years. I've known you about 5 minutes, better than that.
How'd you get to that?
Easy. I saw you first, Mr. President. You were all shiny brass buttons and bushy-tailed as could be. A sight to behold. Especially for someone green out of the Tennessee hills, which is purely what I was along about then.
Davy! 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 We're going over here! Hey, Davy, son. Davy! I found him! Somewhere right there.
Better get rid of that cud loot so we can all figure out what you're talking about.
Davy, I near about swallowed that.
Best breakfast you had since we left Tennessee. Now, what are you talking about?
I reckon the bunch we supposed to meet up with is, down over here. But I don't think we're gonna get there in too good a fashion.
Why's that?
Well, take a look. That trail runs all along the ridge, all the way down to that draw. By the time we get to the bottom, they'll be way past. The sun will be gone. We won't get to them till sometime tomorrow. They're expecting us today. And you know soldiers, Davy, they put a lot of stock in being at a place on time. They don't abide with latecomers.
Straight ahead, get us there in time.
Davy. No. Just speculation, Luke.
Purely speculation.
We could get killed.
Luke, we left Tennessee in order to help the soldiers calm down the Creek uprising. I recall that part correctly, do I?
Mm-hmm.
Now, these Creek Indians, they got bows and arrows and tomahawks and such. I recall that part correctly, do I?
You do.
Then don't you think it might be just a little too late to worry about getting killed?
Davy, if you signifying a challenge here, there ain't a man here that would back away from it. But did you truly notice how far up we are?
That's a real good point, Luke. I'll tell you what. I'll just head on down the mountain. When I get there, I'll explain to the Army why the rest of you are going to be late. I'll give you this back at the bottom.
You're really crazy. I expect we all are.
Did the men take cover, General Jackson? There could be a war party up creek up there.
Could be worse. Could be the volunteers from Tennessee.
Anybody in charge here?
That would be me.
You got a name?
Name's Jackson. The rank's General.
Davy Crockett, General. Tennessee Volunteers. We are here.
So I see. Good Lord.
You mind telling me what happened to you, young fella?
I ran into a tree.
Crockett, have your men fall in behind.
and see that they watch their steps.
Well, as long as we're walking behind those horses, General, you can pretty well count on that.
Let's go! They run into trees.
Forward! March!
Crockett, form your men into a column of twos. Why? Because that's the way soldiers march, and that's the orders you've just been given. Column of twos.
Column of twos, eh? Column of twos, everybody. That's the way the soldiers march. Lord knows why. Come on, column of twos now, column of twos. Come on. So, Davis, you don't get off my foot.
Y'all look a sight better than we do. Smell about the same, though.
Get up deep up ahead. Keep on moving. That's it. That's it. Keep on moving. Right.
You, the wagon, help up.
That's it, girl. That's it, Ori. Keep pushing. We got some help coming. That's it. Keep it going. Here we go. Here we go. Keep it going to a plump room, huh? Here we go. Now, why are you so all-fired interested in that painting, Davy?
Oh, that's just somebody in that picture I thought I knew a long time ago.
How's your throat? Dry, is it?
No, I'm fine for now.
You changed, Davy. You used to be able to lift a horn or two with the best of them. I've seen you do it.
Well, I still do my share to keep Kentucky solvent. But I got to get an early start tomorrow.
Early for where? Now, you ain't leaving until you agree to go in with me on this Indian bill.
I'll listen all night. I doubt I'm going to change my mind.
You didn't used to be such an Indian lover, Davy.
Didn't used to be a lot of things. Time was I'd agree with you right on down the line on this thing. Time was.
Those Creek savages came down out of the hills and onto that settlement, and they slaughtered every living thing that they could find. Over 500 defenseless souls who only sought their share of this land's bounty. There's an encampment of those heathen snakes 8 miles due south of here. Now we leave at sunset. We'll be there before dawn, before they've even had a chance to light their cook fires. Well, that's all right. They're not gonna have to cook breakfast tomorrow, because they're not gonna be alive to eat it. One more thing. Volunteers, you're under my command, and you will accept and obey without question any order that I give you. I will permit you, however, to choose your own sergeant. Any names?
Davy's the man.
Yeah.
Davy. Yeah.
Davy.
Davy.
All in favor of Crockett?
All opposed? Me. I'm Georgie Russell, and I'm damn opposed. One of yours, Mr. Crockett? Nope. I ain't one of his. I'm all mine, and I never set foot down the state of Tennessee.
Well, how come you won't back Davy?
Don't think it's right for anything to be unanimous in this country. A lot of good men got themselves killed fighting for the right to vote the other way. Be ashamed to let that go to waste. All right, then. One opposed. Half the state of Tennessee in favor of. Mr. Crockett represents the volunteers. Get these men fed!
That jackass think he is, anyhow. You're our leader, everybody knows that.
Well, knowing's one thing, agreeing appears to be another thing. Take care of that for me, Luke. Well, that looks good. The color you don't often see in food, grant you that. Y'all was so contrary, Mr. Russell? Nothing good to say about the food, and appears to be ain't got nothing good to say about me either. When something's not prepared right, I'd be a plumb fool to swallow it, wouldn't I? And something about this arrangement ain't prepared right to your way of thinking? Uh-huh. You mind telling me what that is? Crockett, I didn't sign on to take orders from a civilian. Got to do it from the boys with the pretty coats and fancy hats, but not from no civilian. Jackson said you do. I'm a forgiving man. I'll not hold that against me. Mr. Russell! You know, my gut tells me that I'm likely to be a burr under Jackson's saddle, and you're lucky to be the same thing under mine. So I think the sooner we get that straight between us, the better. Maybe a little walk before supper might help.
This way. You won't need that. You know, normal when someone's a bit fractious with me, I got no problem just heading the other way. I'd do that with you, except figure it got me a responsibility.
A responsibility?
Uh-huh.
Well, I got me a wart on my little toe. You know what that makes me?
Mm-mm.
A man with a wart on his little toe. Don't make me no better than anybody else, and it don't make me no kind of special.
Comes down to this. If I tell you to do something, what do you do?
That's something you tell me to do. Would it be handed out like it's an order?
Oh, it would indeed.
Oh, that'd be a mistake.
Well, suppose that I told you that I could beat you to pudding, and then I gave you that order. First,
you'd have to show me.
Where you from, Mr. Russell?
Georgia.
Georgia. Hear tell they got real quick painters down there in Georgia.
Quick painter? Where'd you hear a thing like that?
Well, I heard about one fella that was so quick that he was able to draw a picture of a Georgia cracker with his mouth shut.
Crockett, there's a naked girl washing her hair in that stream behind you.
Russell, if you think I'm that dumb, you're a lot dumber than I think.
We're not being very much of a gentleman doing this.
Well, we surely ought to be gentlemen.
Right.
Afternoon. I'm Davy Crockett.
That ain't what I meant by being a gentleman.
Well, my pa said introductions are very important.
Well, at least with you, they're memorable.
Well, she'll be back directly. I reckon.
Go away!
Oh, you must not have heard me the first time. I'm Davy Crockett. This here's my friend, George Russell. Now you know us. Who might you be?
Ori Palmer. Now, will you please go away?
How far away's that rifle of yours? Too far.
This is not funny. Will you please go away?
Ori, start walking towards us, please.
With you standing there, I'd sooner die first.
Ori, there's 3 gentlemen from the Creek Indian Nation who might like to help all of us get to the happy hunting grounds, and they're standing right there behind you.
How empty-headed do you think I am?
I asked my friend Georgie here pretty much the same question just a minute back. Now, I purely dislike making a person feel foolish who's as naked as a jay, but I strongly urge you to take a look over your shoulder. Keep it in mind now, to take it real slow, so that we don't startle any of the 3 gentlemen. And then you can make up your mind what it is you think you ought to do. You keep an eye on them 3 in case they try something once she sees them.
What you gonna keep your eye on?
I'm presently wrestling with that.
Did you look?
Nope. Did you?
Nope.
This business of soldiering is much more demanding on a man than they let on, huh?
Right.
Now!
And you are sure that it was a hunting party? You got a good look at them?
Looked long and hard under circumstances that would have broken lesser men.
What were you and Russell doing out there anyway?
We was talking about painters in Georgia.
Know a lot about art, do you, Mr. Russell?
Hardly a thing, sir, but Sergeant Crockett here was instructing me about it.
I wish there'd been an officer out there to verify what we're being told.
Me and Davy seen what we seen. We told you about it. What needs to be verified?
You forgot to say sir.
No, I didn't. I didn't say it, but I didn't forget it neither.
General Jackson, you know where, Oh, you're here. There's a fellow over here to see you. Russell, too.
You see what it's about and have done with it. I need you to get your volunteers going before the moon gets too high.
The one called Russell was insubordinate, sir.
So he was. He also happened to be right.
Name's Woodrow Palmer. My little girl tells me how you 2 scared up a whole passel of them creeks were after her. And I had to come to find you and tell you that her and her mother and me, well, we'll be honored if you join us at our wagon for supper tonight. We got coon stew and yams. It's our way of saying thank you. Ori tells me she didn't have much chance to.
Well, sir, she wasn't quite dressed for the occasion.
But the notion of some home-cooked coon stew sounds like a fine one to me, Davy.
Then we'll see you at the wagon tonight.
No, sir, you won't. Leastways not this evening. Mr. Russell's forgetting that we got us a previous engagement with General Jackson and some of his friends.
much longer till Jackson lets the bugler go to work, you figure?
Not much longer now.
Seems like we've been hunkered down here forever.
Man, it's been a while, Georgie, but nowhere close to forever. Hope none of us gets to know forever before this is all over. Baby, you ever done anything this exciting? Well, I've had me at times, Lute, but I don't know if I'd think on this as exciting. Well, ain't your heart a-beating like a 10-pound butterfly? It is for a fact. Well, don't that signify you're excited? Eager to pay back those snake eaters down there? I mean, they slaughtered near about 500 settlers at Fort Mims. General Jackson, you heard him tell it. Ain't you eager for what all to start? Lute, you ever seen a man gut shot with an arrow? No? Well, I have. And I recommend you think a couple times before you get so all-fired eager. Well, all I know is my grandpa went through a bunch of times with General Washington. And he said, a man don't get to be a man unless he's been blooded in war. He says it's a wonder that... Old men's memories got a lot of honey on them, Lute. Well, all I know is he said a blood battle's a wonder. And now's my time to find out. Just hope none of them Creek warriors been talking to their grandpappies, too.
Bugler, commence fire.
Troopers! Fire! By the flank right, deploy as skirmishers! Bugler! Tennessee volunteers, advance!
Hold it, Luke. Sounded to me like we're shooting at warriors. I ain't gonna tell my grandpa his boy quit firing when there's still firing to be done.
First time being good with a long rifle ever gave me pause. I knew the Creek were the enemy. I knew they had to be dealt with. But I didn't believe that wiping them off the face of the earth was either possible or productive. Same reason I'm against this Indian bill that you're trying to ramrod through the House. It won't work.
Mr. President, young Andy asked if I could find you. He wondered if you might have time to stop up and say goodnight.
Well, now, he didn't wonder a thing. He told you to go and find that old rapscallion of a Paul and get him up there right now. Be back in a few minutes, Davy.
Miss?
Yes, sir. Is there something I can do for you?
If you don't mind my asking, what's your name, girl?
O'Connor, sir.
Oh, that's right. Your mother's maiden name. Could it have been Palmer, first name Ori?
Yes, sir.
Is she here? I mean, on Miss Jackson's staff?
Yes, sir.
Well, Delia, I know I may sound like an addle-brained old coot to you, but I wonder, could you find your mother and tell her that Colonel Davy Crockett would like to see her, if she's agreeable?
Davy Crockett? You're Davy Crockett? And my mother knows you?
I think I might be a part of a memory or two that could be recalled.
You wait here. I'll get her.
Well, you're gonna be looking mighty fine for the gathering this afternoon. What? I figure you're cleaning that shirt for the ruckus Jackson's throwing later on. Been at this tracking and fighting business for quite a while. It's earned us some time to hoot and holler.
No, I don't know about that. I'm just trying to get this here place clean. It won't come out.
What is it? Oh, that won't come out. It's in the steak. It's blood.
No, it isn't. It's something else. I don't know what it is, but it ain't what you said. It'll come out. I'll keep at it, and it'll come out. It's got to.
Fine thing you're doing here, General. The men deserve this. Do them all the world of good.
Not for them, Mr. Palmer. This is done for my benefit, and my benefit only. Tomorrow we go after the creeks that have taken the southern route to escape. That means the swamps, sir. And those swamps are equal to the Bible's every description of hell itself. If I didn't give the men some ease before walking into that, I'd have a rebellion on my hands. That will not be permitted to occur.
General, you'll go far.
Seems likely.
Listen up, boys. Join in here with me now. Here we go. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greenest state in the land of the free. Raised in the woods so he knew every tree. Killed him a bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. Another round. Andy Jackson is our general's name. His regular soldiers will put to shame. The Mexican varmints us volunteers will tame. 'Cause we got the guns with a surefire aim. Davy Crockett, the champion of us all. Yeehaw! All through the woods we were marching along.
I think I done heard me all this dog-dropping poppycock I care to hear. There ain't one man in the Tennessee Volunteers that's better than another one, and I ain't gonna stand aside and heard it said that there is.
Ease off there, Lou. We're just having fun with Davy. No one here thinks they're better than anybody else.
He does. Once he got us all into this and got himself called sergeant, he ain't been nothing but king jackass around here, all brag and no pull. Of course, maybe it's hard not to be a king jackass when you done got yourself a bear at only 3. That's so, Davy? About killing that bear? Must have been a right fearsome beast, all right.
Well, that's hard to say, Lute. It's been a while. I could have been 2, I could have been 4. It's hard to be real exact.
Lute, you go find some shade and you sober up. We're supposed to be fighting the creeks, not each other. I got no cause to fight with you.
And I'll just give you cause.
Lute.
Lute!
Put a bridle on him and tie him down till he sobers up. Ori? Ori? You all right?
I'm fine. I'm almost fine.
We better keep an eye on Lute. He's developing quite a nose for the corn.
Oh, he's had a few drinks, all right, but I don't think corn's his problem.
You got a notion what is his problem?
Who's Rosalie?
It's Lute's sister.
How old a girl is she?
12, 13, I guess.
They close?
Yeah, I guess so. What are you getting at, Georgie?
See, me and him are pretty much cheek to jaw in the tent. I can hear him calling out her name at night. And sometimes he cries like a little bitty kid.
You mean from the start? Since we first got here?
No. After the raid started, especially after that one at Salt Creek, Davy, women got killed in that one. And kids the age of Lute's sister. That's when he started calling out her name.
Lord. I never should have asked him to join up.
You didn't know. Nobody did.
I know now.
What in the hell are you talking about, Crockett? Muster a man out of the service because he pawed a girl you took a fancy to? You always turn tail and run like that?
It ain't got a thing to do with what happened this afternoon. I just don't think he's up for soldiering anymore.
Man's got arms, legs, a strong back. That's what a soldier needs. He stays. Dismissed.
No, sir, not dismissed. Lute ain't a boy we can depend on anymore.
That boy is 26 years old.
Years got nothing to do with man or boy, General. We both know that.
I know one thing, Crockett. That man's in your unit, and if he doesn't fulfill every order in command, I'll have him in front of a firing squad. A squad made up entirely of Tennessee volunteers. You understand me, sir? You take my meaning?
Oh, I hear you. And I know what the words mean. That's as far on the understanding side as I know how to go with you. Now I'm dismissed.
Thanks, Mary.
You're welcome.
Delia, go back to the sitting room and wait for the president. When he gets there, tell him that Colonel Crockett came looking for a cup of coffee, then come fetch him.
But, Mother,
The president's time is very valuable. Run along. Now.
Ori,
You haven't changed one whit, Davy Crockett.
well, now that's a kind lie, and very much appreciated. But I must say, Ori, the years have cradled you most considerately. Most considerately indeed.
What strong hands. I always remember that, what strong hands you had.
Ori, we have...
How's your family?
Fine. The kids are almost all grown now. One's still at home.
And your wife?
You mean Polly? Polly died about 10 years ago, right after the last one was born.
Oh, I'm sorry, Davy. I know how that hurts. My Mr. O'Connor died 3 years ago this next March, so I do know what it's like to be suddenly alone.
Well, I'm not alone. You asked about my wife, and I told you about Polly, because she's the one you knew about. Well, after Polly died a couple of years, I needed someone to help out with the children. I was gone a lot. And there was this widow woman named Patton. She had 3 and I had 4. And she needed a paw for hers and I needed a maw for mine. So we've been together about 8 years.
I remember when you told me about you and Polly. Now we seem to be talking about the same thing. It doesn't seem so easy the second time around.
My father says the swamps are dreadful, terrible places.
Have you ever been to a swamp like that?
Nope, we don't have swamps in Tennessee. Whenever we find one, we just change the borders and we let Georgia have the dang thing.
I'm gonna shock you, Davy Crockett.
Well, I'm here to be shocked.
I can't be a lady anymore. Not where you're concerned. There's no time for that, and there's too many things that need to be said between us before you go off to those godforsaken places.
Ori, slow down a bit.
No, this is taking me too long to get to, Davy. If I slow down now, I might never say what I need to. My mom's talking about us going back to Scotland. Well, it's back to for her because that's where her people are. But I'm from here, and here's where I intend to stay. But you know they won't let me stay here on my own, so I'm obliged to find myself a husband and quick.
Rein it in, Ori.
I told you I was going to shock you. I told you I wasn't going to be a proper young lady. I don't have time for proper anymore. Folks say young ladies aren't supposed to talk about things like this. And that's why I'm putting lady on the shelf. I need to know about your intentions, Davy Crockett. I need to know before you go off to those swamps and then heaven knows where.
Ori, where I'll be going is back to my wife and kids in Tennessee.
I know it sounds awful for me to talk like this, and it's not the way things are supposed. You don't wear a ring.
Rings in my poke. Creek know about gold, Ori. They'll take a ring right off a man. They don't much care whether his finger's in it or not.
You gonna tell anybody about this, Davy? Am I gonna end up being a funny story around a Tennessee volunteer campfire?
Of course not.
The only reason I'm asking is you're such a funny storyteller. It'd be a shame for you not to have this one to tell. How'd you start it, Davy? I was out walking with this prattle-brained girl from Alabama who said she was so desperate she couldn't be a lady anymore. I guess that'd get me all kinds of invitations.
Ori.
No, leave me be. Just leave me be.
One man.
Yep.
You're sure it's just one? I doubt the Creek would send a scout out by himself.
Not a Creek warrior, Lieutenant. Not unless they started wearing square-toed boots. White man took her.
Lute Newhouser. A deserter.
Yeah, well, if Lute is deserting, he's doing it in a right contrary fashion. These tracks lead off in the direction where the Creek are fixing to make their final stand. Most deserters don't head towards the enemy.
Why would he take my little girl off in the direction of the Creek encampment?
Mr. Palmer, the Lute Newhouser who took your daughter, he isn't the same man I brought out here from Sycamore Shoals. He's been torn down by what he's seen in his country and by what we've been up to here.
Answer the question. What does that man want with my Ori? I left the heather and the moor to come here. I left family and a lilt of speech that breaks the heart. I come here because there was hope, I was told. I lost a son, my Brendan. Now a madman takes my only daughter. I've got no more to give, you hear? No tears left to cry. No blood more to shed. What does that man want with my Ori?
I think Lute took Ori to the Creeks. It's sort of a peace offering.
Crockett, there'll be no rescue effort if you get into trouble.
What makes you think I'm going up after him?
Because underneath all that country cousin shucks and golly, you're a man who hates defeat as much as I do, and will do whatever needs to be done to avoid it. You were right last night. I was wrong.
But there'll be no rescue effort if I get into trouble.
None. As appealing as it may sound to the sentimental of spirit, I do not plan my strategies based on a fleeting sense of personal guilt. Dress warmly. Godspeed.
Emmett.
Were you thinking about me the whole time, Davy? Or was it just the adventure of it all that got you up there?
I wouldn't have you believe the adventure wasn't part of it. It was. It always was with me.
Do you miss it?
Yeah. Like a field misses sunshine and rain. I'm 18, Ori, inside. I'm 18, with gray hair and a knee that tells me 2 days before it rains. I'm 18, needing reading glasses and an extra blanket at night to keep me warm when it's cold. But I'm 18, Ori. In here, I'm 18. Is that a bad thing, you think?
No. It's just a natural thing for you, Davy, and natural things can't ever be bad.
I don't know. There's some don't see it that way. There's some that would have me find a shady place in a rocking chair on the front porch and just be done with it.
What do you want?
I want to grab hold of something and shake it so hard its teeth rattle. And I don't care if it's a bear or a tornado or just pure life itself. I won't be covered up with cobwebs in that rocker. Well, good evening.
Colonel Crockett, President Jackson's back in the sitting room. He'd be pleased if you'd join him there.
Guess he's still looking for the bottom of that jug. I guess I better help him out.
Davy? I'll wait up. Please come and find me before you go.
Mama, were you in love with Colonel Crockett?
Delia. What a question.
another cup. I know it's powerful hot in here, what with the fire going and everything. We got plenty of water to spare if you want some more. All right. This is a necessary thing, what's going on here. It's a thing that's gotta be, or the killings are just gonna go on and on.
If you give me over to the Creeks, you know what they'll do to me.
I don't, neither do you. But I'll tell you what I think. I think the Creeks, Ori, will have you to bargain with. They'll get promises from old Andy Jackson, and they'll get safe passage, and they'll take you on back to your folks. And the killing will stop. Then we can all just go home.
No, it won't be like that. There'll be more soldiers and more killing.
No, Ori!
How are you doing?
Why didn't you let me help?
This table's his head. I'm you.
Please. What's the matter? I don't hear anything.
Neither do I. It's 'cause there's nothing to hear. Not a bird singing anywhere out there. All struck dumb. It's 'cause they see all them people coming soft as shadows through the woods. Lute's fire did what he wanted it to, Ori. The creek, they've seen it. Now they're all around this place.
Can you see them?
Don't have to. They're out there, all right.
How are we gonna get out?
Ori, I'm not so all-fired sure that we do.
Davy, he's awake.
I don't recollect everything. We fought.
For a time.
You won?
Well, if I won, I sure would prefer to have the victory ceremony held someplace else. Half the warriors in the Creek Indian Nation are out there in the dark. We got 8 hours to first light, and we're not gonna need a rooster to let us know the sun's up. They'll take care of that chore.
Or I tell you the plan I thought of?
Dude, if I put a hot iron against a frog's rump, he'll jump. But I don't give him credit for thinking it up.
They'll hold her hostage. They'll negotiate. Jackson will settle.
No. They'll kill you and me. Slow. And we'll be the lucky ones. Ori they'll take back with them. She'll tend squaws and eat what the dogs don't want. That's the victory we got. We're much obliged to you.
Never did figure out how to knock on a tent.
It's puzzled better men than you.
There's only one. That's why I'm here.
Only one what?
Man better than me. That's Crockett. That's why I figure I better leave early and go see how he's doing, looking for Newhouser and the girl.
Well, you can't leave. Crockett left you in charge of the Tennessee Volunteers.
He did, but I decided to quit.
Decided to quit?
Did.
You don't decide to quit in the Army, Mr. Russell. That's not how it works.
What
are those?
Pay vouchers. They was in Davy's kit. The Army is short on paying the men.
Well, if the paymaster can't keep track of our movements...
Oh, I understand that. I do. And it appears that Davy does too, which is why he hadn't said anything about it to the men. You understand. Davy understands. I understand. But the men won't understand, General. They won't understand not being paid at all. Surely hope no one forgets and says something in front of them. Lord knows what they'd do then. It could be awful. Now, if I was to go looking for Davy, at least we'd have the security of knowing that I wouldn't be the one to accidentally, say something that I shouldn't oughta.
I thought for a time there you and Crockett were enemies.
We're fighting friends. There's a world of difference.
You want me to stay here by the window? Keep a lookout?
No call, Ori. Creeks don't attack at night. Bad medicine.
I didn't know Indians don't attack at night.
Didn't say all Indians. Said the Creeks. Tribes are different in a lot of ways.
Tribes are all different. That's what Jackson and his troopers don't realize. That's why they call them animal names. They call them snakes.
Give it up, Luke. We're not negotiating.
Did I say we were?
No. But I could hear him getting better and more reasonable with every word you spoke. And that boot don't fit the path we're gonna follow.
You got some sort of plan, do you?
Yeah.
You gonna tell us what it is?
If I thought I could trust you, I'd tell you. The fact that I haven't, that ought to tell you something.
We get out of here. You gonna take me back to Andy Jackson?
Am.
Talk desertion, Davy. I'll be killed. In Tennessee, they'll call me a coward.
You shouldn't have run off. Shouldn't have taken Ori.
Firing squad or hanging? Think.
Well, there's been talk of a firing squad, Luke. That wastes powder. Rope's cheaper and just about as quick. I think it all depends how things are going with the creeks. If it's over, well, he'll use powder. If they're still disputing, you'll do the air dance.
How can you two just stand there and calmly discuss how the Army's gonna kill him? That is the most dreadful, awful conversation I have ever heard.
Ori, what we're talking about is what's going to happen if we're fortunate enough to get out of here. Believe me, long about now, that's a very optimistic topic.
Luke, stop!
Davy, no! Don't shoot him!
Luke? Luke!
Davy? I'm good shot. I'm...
You know how this works now?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to use it.
Rosalie. Rosalie.
It's his baby sister.
Rosalie. Tell Grandpa. It ain't no wonder. War ain't no wonder at all.
I'll tell him, Luke. I'll tell him all, I swear. How long till morning?
3, 4 hours.
And then?
Well, I had a plan for a time. But I needed me and Luke to bring it off. I don't know if I can do it on my own. Ori, it pains me to have to say this to you, but I think I'm gonna have to kill you.
Davy, are you sure about this? I mean, are you rock Baptist certain this is the only thing to do?
The only thing I'm sure of, Ori, is that it's almost done. If we just sit here and we wait for them to come and get us, then they're going to be the ones to decide how it is we're going to die. And that's a choice I'm not eager to let them make.
I'm scared, Davy. I've never been so much afraid in my life.
I'd say you got ample cause. I'd say we both do. Now you tear a hanky-sized piece off your petticoat.
What?
I don't have time for teaching school, Ori. You just do what I say and you do it quick. Give that to me. You hold that tight. We're right to it, Ori. We best get it done.
Now? Are you sure?
There's no good time for things like this, Ori. So sooner's better than later. You're not getting the woman. You hear me? You're not getting the woman. You all right?
I fell in something. Back of my head's sticky.
I just nicked your mite, that's all.
You what?
Ori, it's Lute's gun. I had no idea which way it's gonna pull.
Worms. Are there any worms in here?
No, there's no worms in here.
I never heard of dirt didn't have worms.
Alabama dirt don't have worms. Georgie Russell told me all about it. It's against their law. Excuse me, but I gotta get that wicker.
Davy Crockett, if this don't work, I'm gonna kill you.
Ori, if you're able to kill me, it will have worked.
I'll be back by sunset, Ori. I'll swear it.
Come ahead, you capon horse eaters! You ain't never gonna get me! Davy! Don't you follow me? Come on! Where are you going, Davy? Whoa! Davy! Davy! Wait for Georgie, Davy! Wait for Georgie! Davy! Georgie! What are you doing down there? Davy! That ain't no way to maintain a friendship!
I found Crockett, sir. Pleased to report he's doing just fine. Thank you.
Mr. Russell, you are soaking wet and you don't have a weapon. Would you mind telling me how that happened?
I treated trout, sir. He was a big one.
Sleeping.
It's over, Rory. It's over.
Can't be over. Can't be over. Because we never had a chance for it to start.
Delia, I can't imagine a prettier sight to wake up to than a lovely lady like yourself. Although the addition of some coffee might help.
Well, it's on the way, Colonel Crockett.
Thank you kindly.
Well, if I ain't dead, it ain't for the want of trying. I hear somebody say coffee.
Yes, Mr. President. I'll go see what's keeping them.
Delia, I want to thank you very much for what you did last night, for your kindness. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Colonel. But I really haven't done anything.
Oh, yes, you have. It would take me centuries to explain, but yes, you have. Go ask your mother. She'll tell you more about it.
Ask me what? Or am I intruding on some state secret?
There is no need to shout.
Delia, go make sure that Colonel Crockett's buggy is ready.
No buggy horse.
I'm pleased to have met you, Colonel Crockett.
And you, Delia.
Now, who is Mrs. Peter Zane, and why am I meeting her at 11:30?
Because she's 100 years old, and today's her birthday.
Well, I would have thought that was something the vice president could handle. Davy, I gotta get me some soap and water and a razor and get myself human. I imagine that you're on your way.
Yes, sir, I am.
Headed for where, by the way? You never did say.
Down to Philadelphia first, then maybe to Tennessee to see the folks, or St. Louis to meet up with Georgie Russell.
Georgie Russell. He's still alive, is he? What's he got in mind for you two?
Something going on in Texas, he says.
Texas is a young man's place, Davy.
Now, what would you rather do? Stay here for Mrs. Zane's 100th birthday, or go off to meet me and Georgie Russell?
Yeah, it was a time.
What brought that on?
Oh, maybe it's just that a good deal of prime brandy's been put to good use. Maybe it's the fact that I'm talking to a man who... one of the few remaining men who were there when we put shoes on this baby of a nation. Trying to convince the world it could stand on its own. Yeah, it was a time, Davy. It surely was. Time.
So, you'll be going down to Texas?
I reckon so.
No surprise, not for a man like you.
And what do you suppose that would be, Ori, a man like me? Sometimes I'm not sure I know anymore.
Men like you need to know the thunder and the lightning. The more you know it, the harder it is to stay away. And women like me, well, we just come out with the rainbows. Just in time to see you move off toward the next storm, the next batch of thunder.
You and me had hard choices, Ori. But we made the right ones.
You'd best be gone. I'm Lutheran. And we don't believe in nonsensical ideas, but I read in a book once about a notion called reincarnation. Means we all get to live more than just this one life. And every time I think of you, Davy, I think, wouldn't that be nice if that was so?
Wouldn't that be nice indeed? Wouldn't that be nice indeed? Till that time, Ori.